What's up? Hey everybody, how's it going? Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's doing well. If you are there, jump on, say hello. Today, I will be sharing how your values shift whether you're operating out of fear or out of love, and what you can do about it. So if you are operating out of love, how you can operating out of fear, how you can shift back into love. So let's see if I can share this really quick with my group. And if you're there, jump on, say hello, let me know where you are in the world. And if you are already connected, tell me what are your top 3 values, because then that will help you as we go through this to see how those 3 values shift based on whether you're operating out of fear or out of love. All right, let's see if I can get this shared real quick. All right. Cool, we're all set. Okay, so for me, my top 3 values are freedom, abundance, and truth. And so when I'm operating from a place of love, of faith, of being connected to my soul, being connected to myself, being really in a clear channel, how that manifests is freedom for me is adventure, travel, it's spaciousness, having time in my schedule for family, for friends, for activities I enjoy. So that's freedom. Abundance, how abundance looks is prosperity, is wealth, is being able to feel supported in all that I'm doing. And then truth, how truth is manifested when I'm operating out of love, is communicating from a place of who I am, what I stand for, what I'm about, and always coming from that place and having extremely high standards for myself and for everyone I'm around. So who I let into my energy and who I decide to share my energy with. So that's when I'm operating from love. When I'm operating from fear, how it shifts is freedom becomes restriction. So having to follow a certain set of rules, having to perhaps have a little bit more restriction in my calendar. So having just like super tight timelines, super strict schedule, super tight to-do list, and having a lot of shoulds in your brain about how things are working or should work, instead of having that trust that you are being guided and that your soul genius has all the information and you're going to be led exactly where you need to go, and without having to follow a super strict formula or having to go to a 9 to 5 or follow a certain pattern set by society that has not ever worked for you to begin with. How abundance shifts if I'm operating out of fear is it becomes scarcity. There's never enough. I have to hustle. There's competition. There's lack. I mean, that's a huge, huge shift from a place of love and what that feels like. And then how truth shifts when I'm operating out of fear is that instead of coming from a place of trust and self-trust, ultimately, it's starting to lower standards and accept things that you're no longer available for, but all of a sudden you're starting to see your standards are lowering. So now that you are letting yourself be available for things that you don't really want to be available for and then aren't aligned with your truth. And so how you can tap into this is that you can start to think about when you're in love. So identify your top 3 values. And when you're coming from a place of love, what does that feel like? Where do you feel, and go through each of your top 3 values. Where do you feel freedom in your body? For me, where do you feel abundance? Where do you feel truth? Is there a certain part of your body, maybe in your solar plexus? That's one of the chakras that coordinates with your truth. Where do you feel freedom? Where do you feel abundance? And think about what that feels like. And then also what I want you to do is think about what activities give you those feelings, because this whole game of life is getting those feelings now, being in that now, and not waiting until your bank account is different or your schedule is different or your standards are higher. It's being in that now. So thinking about what can you do if freedom is one of your values? What can you do to make sure you have freedom. So that could be going for a walk. It could be taking a bath. It doesn't have to be something like traveling across the world right now. It's making sure what freedom feels like is something that you experience every single day deliberately and consciously. And then the same thing for the other two values. For abundance, what does that feel like? What is an activity that makes you feel abundant? And then high standards or truth, what does that feel like in your body? What are activities that make you feel in integrity with yourself and with your truth? And then make sure every day you're checking in. What am I doing to experience freedom today? What am I doing to experience abundance today? What am I doing to experience truth today? How am I being aligned with my truth and my standards and my word and my communication and my relationships? How am I scheduling my day to ensure I feel abundant? And what am I doing in my activities to feel free in all that I do? And how you design your day is critical for freedom, especially in abundance, but also with your truth, because if you are running your own business, you want to be running it. The whole reason is because you don't want to follow someone else's rules and have to report to someone else. And so what often happens is you end up becoming your own worst boss and establishing a workplace that you actually don't want to work anymore, which is what happened to me in my business. And so what you want to do is think about, how do you best work? What does that look like for you? Is it communally in a co-working space? Is it in a social space, in a coffee shop? Is it at home or in an office that's quiet? And then what are the activities that you do in your work that come naturally to you? And make sure you schedule those. And then the things that don't come natural, that you tend to kind of like your weaknesses, make sure you're able to either get help with those, hire those, automate those, eliminate those, whatever you can do so that your day, your ideal day, every day is spent doing the things that you thrive at, that you love, and you're doing them in a way that comes natural to you. So if you don't love writing, maybe you can do videos. If you don't love videos, maybe you do writing, or maybe you do in-person networking. So you find a way so that whatever you do, wherever you are showing up in full truth of who you are. You're not faking it by networking when you actually hate networking. You're not faking it by trying to write when you hate writing. So you're really being true to yourself in everything that you do, and that is going to help you stay aligned with those top three values in a place of love and faith versus coming from a place of fear and scarcity and lack. So something you could do every single day, first thing in the morning, align with your values and decide what are the activities you will do that day that will help you feel into those top three values, and make that a priority. So you're constantly giving yourself that sensation of already being the person you want to be and already being where you want to be, whatever that might look like. So doing that now instead of waiting until you reach a certain reach a certain milestone, reach a certain goal. You are choosing deliberately every day to be in alignment with where you want to go as if it's already here. And the best way to do that is to tap into your values and to make sure that you are engaging in activities that ignite those values and activate those values every single day. All right, so if you jump on and watch this later, let me know. And also would love to hear what your top three values are, and would love to hear your process through of what it looks like when you're in a place of love and faith, and what it looks like when you're in a place of fear, and then how you can start to make that shift so you're operating more and more from a place of love and faith. Cool. So I don't see any questions. So there is a link to a guided visualization to help you come back into touch with your true self, your authentic self, which is your soul, which is abundant and prosperous and living a life of significance, contributing great value, giving from a place of deep generosity, and living in a place of actually ultimately incredible freedom. So if you want a copy of that, grab that. It's above. And then there's also a link if you want to reach out and schedule a call with me. I'd love to talk to you and hear more about what you're doing in your life and in your business. And if you want to come more into alignment with your soul genius, that is what I love to do with my clients. So reach out and let me know if that is something that is speaking to you. And of course, leave any questions you have below. I'll come back and check later. And have an amazing Tuesday. Bye.